Okay. I think this is gonna go on top. I'm not using it. And did I bring my glasses? Did you bring your? I did not. They're in my car. It is. They're gonna get some. This is. I brought Twizzlers.
I was actually saying, I was asking for you. All messed up. I am trying to day, I'm like day two.
So I'm probably here now.
I'm eating like that.
Or, I'll be, and that's what I'm trying to do too. So that's kind of.
Wait, let me answer the. John. Hey.
Got my glasses. Oh, God.
Oh, no.
We did that.
Oh, John. Do you need glasses to see the screen?
No. This is what I got. All right. Hello, John.
Martha, will you be able to see from there? Does that work for you?
Yeah, I have my glasses.
Okay, all right. Cozy over here, if you want to join us, that's it.
Probably move because I have it downloaded.
Well, the chairs and the TV.
And I actually saw our rep today and she said nothing.
Well, you can.
Thank you.
Maybe it's not football.
Maybe it doesn't count for you.
Can everyone see the numbers?
Yes.
What are you on, if you don't mind?
Budget two.
Well, first, let's kick off the meeting, if that's okay. Yeah, no?
Are you ready to go, Stephanie?
Oh, sure. Take your time. Okay, so.
You don't wanna be here?
No.
That's your guys.
Rachel,
Would I be over?
26 to
You wanna
27
be here?
budget.
No, I can.
Okay.
Did you get the
Thank
stuff
you.
I sent you
Yeah,
so far?
Yeah, I got a whole list. That's only a quarter.
And even if you want, you can look on.
So if I got that much.
Okay, thank you, everyone. January 28th, at 6:33 PM. This is the Board of Finance Budgeting Workshop, and I'd like to start the meeting. We're good? We're good? We're good? Okay. I actually want to see if I can join them, see what's on the screen too. Is that worth the effort? Yeah. All right, so right now, talk us through this, this budget. So we've all had it, we've all had the chance to look at it. Thank you for sending it to us. Very interesting budget, a lot of decreases, so it's great. We're still waiting for information in some areas.
Correct.
But why don't you talk through like first glance and then we'll dig into each of the sections.
Okay, first glance is there's large increase in the selectmen's budget because of staffing changes and a vision for how the first selectman would like to see the town move forward. That's the biggest reason for the increase in that budget. The finance budget right now is showing a decrease, but that could change depending on how we account for the changes that Carol would like to implement and what department is going to house those expenses. And the land use is still blank because we have just hired a part-time land use administrator. So we have not had the opportunity to sit down and review last year's budget, this year's budget, and talk to him to see how we should formulate next year's budget. That is a work in progress on our part. The legal one, the legal counsel has not yet been reviewed because it's okay. We have the new attorney.
Hello?
And we do have contract negotiations for our union that we are entering into, so I don't know what fiscal year those expenses are going to fall in.
Okay.
And we may overall need to increase our legal budget for the town to handle matters at hand, and pending and future lawsuits. So that is an area that we have to look at carefully and closely, which could cause that line item prior years, of $67,000 going up considerably. This year's budget is 67 going up, precipitously. Last year, the 210 in last year included the investigative cost. The
Right.
independent
Is
investigation.
it normally its own line? Usually isn't, right?
Town,
Town council?
town council is its own department, legal is its own department, yes. It has always been its own department.
But we always have legal lines in each of the departments.
The legal line in each department is for the department placing legal ads for, they need to publish in the newspaper. That's what the legal is in their department budgets. I.e. the town clerk has to publish when the audits are made available for both the town and Amity. They have to publish, that the tax payments are now due, so that would fall under the tax collector. Okay, so that's
So
where,
this is town council, that is normally just for our regular council support, but this 210 you're saying was for the investigation
as well as the regular,
plus the regular support.
yes.
Okay, so, cause I've been using this sheet, so the 75, whatever it is,
Mhm.
is really in the prior year.
We just paid that.
We just. But it got approved until last year.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, right. Yes,
And it doesn't include any, we tried to take out as many raises as we could of the ones that we have gone through. We haven't gone through all of them, but we took them out just so you'd have apples to apples, because some budgets came in and they added 2.5%, 3.5% raises, so we took that out because, so that this body can make that decision how they want to. So that's taken out.
they may not be out on all departments yet, they are out on the ones that we have reviewed. And that's why some of them, when you look at the individual pages on them, you'll see that the selectmen's budget has been modified from the department budget on some, but not all departments. The ones that they're not modified, we have not sat down and gone through again.
So this summary is different, has different numbers than this has.
Yes. Yeah, the budget for this fiscal year is the same as this. Is the same as the end, the approved budget would be the budget column, which is column E, correct, Vinnie? Okay. Yes, all right, but the actual the column D are the actual expenditures, the actual unaudited expenditures for 25. I have not had an opportunity to review the numbers from the audit yet. I actually have a meeting with the auditor tomorrow. So we have,
Took out all the supplies from everybody.
and we are taking out office supplies from most departments. Because we are transitioning from individual printers in all the departments to more centralized, larger copier printers. So, and we're now going under contract for that, which will reduce our overall office expenses because we will not have to replace toners for all of the expensive inkjets that are in every office. And the colored ones are quite expensive. Some of the departments that have them, it's $500 a shot to replace all 4 of them.
So we also decided we would do a central office supply closet that Vinnie's gonna be in charge of.
Hey,
For ordering.
congratulations.
So
Another
the
thing we developed.
department isn't ordering paper and pens and things like that. There are gonna be, you're still gonna see an office supply line and some things such as the tax collector, because they have to order their own envelopes. I mean, it could be in the just one, but we just did it that way. Same with town clerk, they order envelopes with their names on it, but this way, we're hoping we'll be able to save some money if only one person's ordering office supplies and they're in one place and we can keep track of them. But we'll see. If it works, yay. If it doesn't, we'll go back to the other way. And the copiers, when we get to it, but we hope that they're gonna save 5,000 to 7,000 by doing this new contract. Starting immediately.
Yeah, because the leases are up on the copiers that we have now.
In March
March, or anywhere from March 1 to March 31. It just,
and June.
and yeah, it depends on which ones they are. So,
And I know you spoke about it, but I was still kind of, the land use reduction.
we don't have a budget in there at all yet. for Lynn.
That's totally TBD right now.
That is totally TBD. So is the town council.
Yes, no,
I can tell you a little bit about that when we get to it, you know, what I think might be projected.
The employee benefits is blank at the moment because we will not have any rates from our insurance carrier before the 15th of February.
We saw him today,
Yes.
and that's what they told us.
Yes. What we have been told is that market on insurance is 12 to 17% increase. So, and part of what goes under the employee benefits is I also have to do a calculation for the FICA and the retirement plan, and that's all based upon next year's salaries. So those are hard to calculate right now, and I will sit down and I will work on that before Tuesday. Fire is down only because I have not sat down, Dawn, to review the items that the town pays for, which is something that we need to talk about, we need to address long term. The fire department, as you know, receives a large grant of about $250,000 every year, but then the town also pays for several of their expenses. We take care of like the propane, it independently from the money that we give them. We also pay for the physicals for the guys on the fire department. The electricity, we split, they pay some, we pay some. There's just a split on what is paid for by them versus what is paid for by us. And I guess the question becomes, why are we doing it that way? Is there a rationale for it? I mean, John may be able to speak to that, or Janet, because of your history with this board. But it was set that way before I got here, so I don't know why we do it that way. But
As we always have.
and that doesn't make it right, it doesn't make it wrong,
Exactly, but that's why.
but maybe it might be time to look at it and say, do we want to increase the grant that we give them and just have them cover everything instead of the town covering any of it? It's not, I mean, it's
And it doesn't make any difference in the procurement because it's all
correct.
a combined contract.
Yeah.
So.
It
Preference.
just something, to think about.
I mean, it's odd for, I wanna say Tinman Station, which they own, we pay Constellation.
Yep.
And they pay something else. I mean, it's just bizarre how it's split, you know?
Like there must have been something at one point.
or something came up and we'll pay that, oh, okay, will you pay, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
wasn't a plan.
And repair and building maintenance, repairs to the building. If the bill is under $1,000, they cover it out of the grant. If it's over $1,000, the town pays for it.
Be better to have them.
Is there original like grant verbiage that?
I no, so something that. Let's take the time to do a little research and a little digging on it. I have a great relation, both Carol and I have a great relationship with the fire chief, so we can get to, the rationale behind how it was set up and what can we do, moving forward. Is there a way to streamline things?
And we'll
Does it
still
now?
have control over, maybe not control, but oversight over what they spend, and if we give them the whole thing is a question, and how much do they think that they're gonna need extra, because we don't want it to be more than we currently pay. I'm sorry, Sally.
Speaking of town, what town pays for, does the town pay for the plowing for the school and stuff?
The school? No, it is part of the school budget.
For sure of that? Because at one point we paid for it. And we paid for it because we didn't want an increase in their budget. So we paid,
And that's why we took the oil back,
Yeah.
because we didn't wanna increase in our budget, so we've been paying it ever since.
right, that's right.
But-
I knew we were paying something.
What's interesting about the plowing, and I only know this from going through trying to pay bills and sign checks, is the DPW plows the town roads and I think they plow Veterans Park and that area. But we have private contractors who like plow town hall because these guys, I'm told, can't get to it because they're so busy trying to do the roads and things like that. So we have some town properties that are done privately that we get a bill for, and we have some that they do.
And they go out to bid? For the plowing, or do we just kind of say, oh, okay, sure, $1,000, good, cool.
No. There were quotes obtained for plowing.
This
And-
year?
Yes, there were. There
Okay.
were 3 quotes obtained to plow what is not covered by DPW. And Jimmy Rawson is doing the work. And his was the lowest price.
Okay.
So yes, we have 3 bids, which is actually very beneficial because of the state of emergency that was declared. So it helps us because with FEMA, you cannot be reimbursed unless you have gone through a process. So we have an existing purchase order for this year based off of the low quote, the low bid quote, but yes, we have 3 of them.
Okay.
So yeah,
And I will say the private contractor has been totally, his bills are complete, they're totally compliant. When you get here, the place is cleaned and assaulted again. Whether he then comes back and salt or the town does, but and I think he does Center Station, maybe, I'm not sure. When there's not a car in the wall.
Well, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
he didn't hit the wall, did he?
no, he
No,
did
he
not
didn't.
do that.
But no, I mean, he's done a really good job and he's fully compliant with
Mhm.
everything asked of him every month.
I like Jay.
How much of the budget did you guys get to? Or maybe the other way around, what's you have-
I just assumed that everything except for the blank things were.
We didn't just.
No, we did not. We did not look at Park and Rec.
And that one, that
We did-
surprised
we did-
me.
We
Okay.
did part of Public Works. And we did all the small, we did most of the town departments, except for the big ones. We did the small ones, we started with the smaller, easier ones because of the learning curve. We went through them and I was pulling up the Munis. I had Munis open at the same time we were looking at the budgets. Where did the expenses come from? What's in that category? How much of it was actually spent? Was it real? Was it like a one-time expense? Or was it a recurring expense? Is it something that happens every year? So we were watching the trends and it took a lot of time, but it was an exercise that was very important, which helped in the understanding process of how we build this. So.
It was really good to do. Really, we looked at every invoices, why are we paying this for this? And some things we had questions, which is why we took some money out. Some things we had to add in some areas because they've spent so much more than was allotted last year. And we looked at the invoices and figured out why. And they were valid, so we had to add. But I mean, we can go through Park and Rec together as well, if you want to.
But yeah, there are polls. I mean, I do not have information from all the agencies yet as well. I mean, excuse me, the information from QDHD. But I do not have the Greater New Haven Transit Authority. I do not have all the detail yet from the Amity Teen Center or the Woodbridge Youth Services. I have a guesstimate as to what they want, but I'll come back to them in a minute.
Yeah.
What about,
And I do not have any information from Woodbridge yet on animal control. Because they're in the same place we are, they're processing the budget, so. I will get that, that's why that line is blank and there's no money in it. So those are coming and it is normal for them to get us the information the beginning of February.
solid waste was down?
So
I didn't
we've done a whole
understand that.
bunch of, The solid waste,
Well, yeah.
159,000.
yes, so, well, that's what RWA. That's not recycling, because we've done a lot of things with recycling to save money. A lot of the things that we've tried to do in the last month or two, is we're only saving, 1,000 here, 7,000 there, 3,000 here, but we're trying to get it to add up to make a little bit of
Yeah.
a difference. Yeah, solid waste, the number went up. Our contract should have gone up this year.
Vinny, can you pull up the individual page for solid waste?
And one question.
And you
just
thought
directly
just sitting
to you.
here.
So in this folder and file, right, you've got the first level of the folder, which is the 26, 27, and then all the individual, and then you have a folder within that's the 2026 budget. Clean, with just a high level, what's the difference?
The budget was put in twice. And the one that says number 2 is the real one, is the one that you want.
No, 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 no,
Folder,
so no,
Don't know what is in the first one was when the budget came in to start the whole process. I did not worry about that.
so
Use
the
use
folder
budget
that
number
says-
2. Use the one that says budget 2 is the one that you want to refer to.
and then all the files underneath are the ones that you look.
Okay,
Yeah, not the individual one.
so that 2026, that, with all the ones in it, that's just like a holding of your original submissions.
Yes.
Right, and then what's actually out in here is what you've gone through, reviewed, made adjustments to, and more of our final.
Well, each page will get many iterations of it. when we
Sure,
get to the
it's the most current today, and we're obviously not done, right? Okay.
No, we're just starting. So, what is, I'm just looking to see what is,
This is in
there's a typo in that
The
budget,
tipping fee.
the tipping fees. He didn't carry the math out,
170.
it says 170.
Yeah.
I think what we should be doing though is taking.
So just so you know, like why are the salaries and wages part-time? Because this also includes this includes the recycling.
Yeah, that is the recycling. Those are the 2 individuals that work at recycling on the full-time
Not
wages
that-
and the part-time.
Right, but not the tipping fee. This whole thing includes both.
Yes,
Right.
correct.
So that's why there's some changes. Yeah, it should be a 5% increase this year.
It's a 5% increase.
163.
See, I don't think it should be over 163. Because if that 76, we updated that before it was sent out. Which means that would have 6 full months in it.
Yeah, no, yeah, these are up to date.
293 divided, but no, just take that 76, 293 times 2 is 152.
Times 1.05.
Correct. I think we can put it at 160 or 161. I don't think we have to increase it from that 163 where it is right now. Because last year it was only 150, 143. And based off of the tonnage right now, if we double the 6 months of the 76 and add 5% to it, we're still looking at a shade under 161. So I say we take that 170 and make it 163.
Thus you see how we did the budgets.
So over the department, over under the first selectmen's column, Vinny, or the Board of Finance column, which is gonna be M or N. Put in an explanation that it's, 26 actual plus 5%.
And then, while we're on this detail tab, the curbside pickup, those, those prices are per the contract, you confirmed them?
Yes. We pulled the contract, and that 339 is next year's price.
And what's the equipment, and it's such a small number, but what is that? The equipment? Containers?
Yes,
It's
the
the
containers.
96 gallon.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is, and even when people turn them in and want a 64 gallon one, we still pay for the 96. Cause that's what they gave us all, that was part of the initial contract.
So why on line 14, our actual expenditures for the dumping fees is 400 and the budget is 5,000?
I don't know, it's a weird word there.
Debris dumping fees. That is for anything that is picked up roadside by the guys, or if we have to get rid of large bulk waste or a lot of tree waste.
I don't think that number is right from this past year.
Actually, it is, that 440 is actual. I think it's a line. Let's put over in the comment section, Vinny. To do a 3-year analysis.
Mhm.
Because we may be able to drop that one.
If someone just like dumps their TV on the side of the road, that's where that goes.
Well,
And that's bulky waste.
yeah,
and
most of it is
Trees,
trees.
brush.
Do we do like an annual something? Cause I guess my only question is knowing the guys that we have, they don't pick up anything unless it's exactly how it's supposed to be. So I don't see how they ever meet that. Hope you guys have had that same experience.
You know, like, it has nothing to do with the contract with RWS. It is all town generated.
Okay.
The last time it was probably used or exceeded in that capacity was when there was a major storm that went through.
That October one, probably.
Yeah.
The one where they did a lot of clearing out of the road.
Yeah.
So this is a mix of RWA and.
No, it's just town. It's just town. It has nothing to do with RWS. This category is a combination.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Yes.
And you're looking into finding a way to reduce the recyclables?
Yeah. So what is not included in here? It's a whole bunch of stuff. For example, as simple as the bins where clothing is. We used to have a Goodwill bin and a something else bin and whatever. We changed them all to Help See bins. It's a company that and the bins have been full. And once we it's a company that takes any textile and they will then weigh it and they will give us money for it. And we never had that before. So we're getting, I didn't bring the numbers with me, but $300 here. You know, we're not gonna get a lot, but we're getting maybe by the end of the year, a couple $1,000. So we've done that and that's not included in here.
That would be on the revenue.
That would be on the side, yeah.
And the same with electronics. For the first time, we are getting money from that. Again, not included in here, but we hadn't done this before. We also, for the first time, are getting, meaning recently, we used to pay to have our metal hauled away. When we could be paid for the metal. So we started working with the company that's doing that. So now we're getting paid for the metal. Now is all this gonna, change our bill rate? No, but it's, a little bit here and there that we're trying to add with everything else. So that's not included in here, but the bulky waste disposal, I need to get an idea on that because we just renegotiated with them as to what the tonnage is gonna be. We used to do it differently. We just renegotiated and it should save us money.
Part of the reason why some of these categories were not changed is because there is still some confusion as to which path we are taking forward with the recycling. So,
Right, the question becomes, so we have 3 glass bins and each one of the bins costs us $40 a month. So do we put all the glass into one bin and then save ourselves a month? Again, not a lot, but it's adds up. And we are having real difficulty getting the company to answer whether or not they will take it all together. They want it separately. USA Hauling, who we're doing a lot of this with now, they've been very kind, very helpful. But if we put all of that together, they want to put it together with paper and or cardboard, well, with paper and plastic and make it sort of single stream up there, but it's gonna cost us more than it costs us now. So we didn't want to do that, or at least we're thinking not to do that. So we're still in the middle of figuring all that out.
so right now, this one is still a little fluid until we figure that out. So we have another month, 6 weeks to figure all that out.
Seems like it's fluid in a good way.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes,
I mean, we're
Yes.
trying to change all these things. I mean, why we didn't think when we changed the election date to November that like within a week you were gonna have to do a budget, But, we're trying to figure some of this out.
There was
as
only
quickly
that
as
one
possible.
pesky person.
Anyway, so that's what that is.
So question just on the animal control, cause in the 2020, that folder, it does have a proposed. Right, that Bethany from the town of Woodbridge, it's 58,890. Is that,
no, I do not have the information for next year from them yet.
okay, cause there's a document in here, I just don't know what that is then.
It's probably not for next year. Or is,
It says FY 26.
that would be 26, that's the year that we're in.
Yeah.
That would
Okay,
have come.
so through this one, got it, okay.
That is very confusing.
No, I got it, I got it. I'm guessing that it probably, does that vary very much?
No. And there are 2 towns, Woodbridge covers the animal control for Woodbridge,
Vegan.
and Beacon
Yeah.
Falls. So Beacon Falls and Bethany get charged a percentage of their overall budget.
Okay, so I'm gonna actually rename this folder, cause basically that folder is FY 2026 budget is what that is, that other folder, that helps me,
It's 25, 26.
yeah.
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 I mean, you can pick a department we did and see if that works for you.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Alright.
good.
I have questions on one of the budgets.
Okay, which one? Let's see one that we actually talked about.
It's human resources, I believe.
We have,
human services.
Human
Human
ser-
services.
we have not looked at that one yet,
Oh dear, all right.
but it brings me back to the agency that I said I was going to revisit. At our meeting in February, I do have a representative from Woodbridge Youth Services and the Amity Teen Center coming to explain what they do, what services they offer. And yes, let's ask them how many Bethany residents are taking advantage of it.
I'm sorry, what was this?
I know that Woodbridge Youth Services
In human services.
does, activities at the middle
I
school.
guess,
Know that they do anything at the high school, and one of the things is a
What-
Halloween
What are they?
gathering in the middle of Woodbridge, which
um,
my grandkids thought
We
was
paid.
horrendous. They went, but they called and said,
people.
"Can you get this is awful."
the teams,
You know,
Ted
which
Selden,
whatever.
yeah.
There are things that
I guess
appear
we
that
skip
are
that.
just for Woodbridge residents. And
Well-
that we're paying for some of that. So
Well,
we need
you know,
check
to
that.
me, the teen center is, when they explained it last year, it was basically video games and music people and art, and there didn't seem to be anything. I mean, it seemed to be a very small niche of people. Because I questioned it, because a lot of times I'll drive by there, it says it's open, there's not a car to be seen. You know, and it's not cheap per se.
Alright, so we can ask next time. The other one thing I wanted to ask about those two agencies is what's our obligation to pay? Like,
the grant
what's the
that we give them,
agreement
or-
that we made, that we would pay one half of their costs, or like, I don't know if that's, how do they decide what responsibility is ours of their budget?
I'll see if I can find the original documents when we entered into the agreement. So,
Unless someone here knows. Does anyone know?
Leslie,
I
do you
didn't
know
we
when
were
we entered in?
tripping that.
most of them date back to 2010 to 2015.
Can we? Is there any appetite for revisiting any of these?
We always
I
have,
think we'd like to understand.
yeah,
Yeah, what we're paying
Getting-
for.
I think this body has the appetite
Hmm.
to revisit.
Yeah, and so, I bet they offer some great programs, it's just that the access to Bethany residents may not be there, you know, like I know my son did a babysitting class through Woodbridge Services, but he only knew about it because he's in the middle school now. And so he shares with Woodbridge, so do they offer anything to elementary student age and, you know, things like
And
that?
that's the other problem is we're not seeing, we were talking about that we haven't seen a lot of advertising here in Bethany as to what they do.
Hmm.
And how do we get Bethany children there? How do we get them involved? Are they even looking to really include us? So I don't know. I will say on this budget, I had the cost of living is in here. We didn't take it out yet.
Because we didn't look at this one.
We haven't looked at this yet. We also, I had the opportunity to speak with the head of this department who indicated, I told her that I wanted our bus on the road 5 days a week.
Mm.
It's a van that we paid a lot of money for last year and it's on the road now on Fridays with a limited amount of advertising and a limited amount of people using it because I think they just don't know. Well, unless nobody wants to use it. I'd like to see it. Right now, we're not, so, and mostly we're not using it, and people are being told or directed to use a bus service. I'm sorry, I don't know the name of it, out of New Haven.
Encompass.
Encompass, thank you. For which they have to pay $5 when they wanna use it. I think we were charging $3. There's no reason we can't charge $5. But I think, so I asked to please put it in the budget for 5 days a week. And we would have to find, you know, part-time drivers, so I've already talked to people who would be interested. And I was told that it was put in for 3 days a week. So it's something we do have to look at, see what we wanna do with it. I'm told that the van is worth a lot of money and it's new. And it's made sense to me
Do we
to.
just put cameras in it?
Yeah.
We have not put them in yet. In fact, the money was allotted and it was a substantial amount of money,
Yeah.
but it hasn't been put in yet. But I'm telling you, this just really isn't used. So we have a service that we can provide, perhaps, once people begin to know about it. It's a service that for people in Bethany, perhaps it can be, you know, I'm making this up, but like Tuesday is Big Y Day and Wednesday is, or Thursday is Stop and Shop Day or Costco Day or whatever. If maybe it can become both a social thing and a purpose, you know, as opposed to just using it in case somebody calls to go to a doctor. I just think it also needs to be advertised more and utilized more, and maybe programs can be made around it. Because we have it, why are we not using it?
Yeah, I thought they cut back when it wasn't breaking down, but now it's brand new
It's
and,
brand new.
yeah,
Yeah.
utilize it.
So about this department, I think that they should be working with the Woodbridge Youth Department and.
They should what?
They should be coordinating with the Woodbridge Youth Services, they should be promoting the services, they should be working together. Some of you might remember, we approved this second position because they were going to be supporting more people than just seniors. They were going to be supporting other human services within the community, because they weren't just senior services anymore, they're human services, so targeting youth services and things like that. So now we have a more robust Parks and Rec department. I don't know. But
The other thing I talked to them about was, in campaigning, people said to me that they really wanted more services, that people who had special needs needed access to this kind of bus or these kinds of things. So my question was, you know, what are we doing? There's all kinds of groups we can be reaching out to. And part of the discussion is, should they just be doing seniors or everything? And how do we want to therefore budget it? And I mean, my sense is they're willing to work with whatever we want, but, you know, and provide for whatever we want, but I think that we have to make that clear.
yeah, where do you draw the line between Parks and Rec programs and human services, if you're dealing with children, you know? You were gonna say something. Sam.
Well, it's just, I see the food service increase, which is 5%, yet that's more than 5% increase in that line item. I don't know. I
I was
just,
told that it went up, but I'm gonna get this wrong, and I'm sorry to the department if I am getting it wrong. But I was told that it went up, or it's going up next year, but this body last year said, well, we shouldn't charge the seniors the full amount. So,
$9 now.
right, so instead of it being $9.95, the seniors are paying $9 and the town is paying 95 cents.
and they came, and the way it was presented, and correct me if I'm wrong, Katie and Martha, that they got an increase in whoever does the food, and they thought that just to turn around and say, oh, well, what you used to pay, I'm going to say $7, you're not going to pay $10.50. They thought that was too much, and would impact everyone adversely. So we had said, okay, we will subsidize for now. It wasn't we're going to subsidize for, it was we were going to subsidize for new, so that the increase didn't hit everybody all at once. That you could kind of move it up a little or whatever. And that's how I remember it. It wasn't like, oh yeah, we're just going to subsidize this for the rest of, time.
I mean,
There's a lot of supplies. What else? Can you go down, can we see what else is on here? Oh,
but the
so-
population that it supports, we really do wanna take care of. We should,
Sure.
like, if they want more services, we need to find a way to get them more services, but-
And they're looking for a social worker. I don't even know if it's put on here or not. But we talked about the need perhaps for even a part-time social worker. There were felt that might be necessary. And I got the sense really that because I kept bringing up, what about this and what about that? And we've had long discussions about this. But why are you spending money on this? And why aren't you using it here instead? And I got the sense that, what do you want them to do? They'll do it. They're happy to help and they're happy to do whatever.
How many people utilize it?
Well, I've said about 30 people use for the seniors, and I'm told that 50 often on the holiday meals, and there are some veterans who have come in and asked questions. So, and And I'm sure there's others. I mean, we'd have to have Robin come in and explain it. I don't wanna speak for her, cause I don't have all the details, you know.
We'll definitely have this department.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, and what I would love also is if they could break down kind of what are the programs that they are doing and how many, like, so if they're doing a bunch of senior programs, what are they? How many of them and how many people come? Doesn't have to be perfect, just a sense of, you know, and how are they letting people know? Do they only let people know through the newsletter? Is there another source? Is there, like,
I
that-
was
that
told that they have
balance.
everything that they've done.
Yeah.
Written
Thank you.
down, and
Great.
that, so that should be an easy.
Great.
Easy thing for them to do. Um, you know, the head of the department has told me that she keeps incredibly accurate records and exactly who she speaks with, how many times, what she does. So I'm guessing that we'll be able to get that.
I think that's great.
So they have 3 people who work there? What is the full, the part-time?
Those would be the bus drivers.
Oh, okay.
What are they doing if the bus isn't?
They're not, they only get paid for when they work, and there's some, right now the bus is only active on Friday. And sometimes not even then, because no one has called for something.
Question on that too, just. So somebody just calls up. To get a ride somewhere, for most of those situations, what? This is a naive question, why do you need a whole bus? Like if it's a one-off going to a doctor's, why do we have a? why do
It's
we
a
have a bus?
wheelchair.
You know, they need to
It's
be
a-
handicap accessible.
Like
Yeah.
a My van, yeah. okay.
Yeah,
And having a, and I don't know how the town bus works, but I know if you. You know, are in a different city and you call for the ride. Go to the doctor's and your doctor's appointment is at 1. They could pick you up at 11. Because then they're gonna bring you there. And then when you're done, you call them and then you have to wait for them to come back. You know, so I mean, and it depends on.
If we have a lot of use for this, we certainly can.
Mhm.
But generally, the way we've been doing it, which is very different from Prospect and Cheshire, that's sort of describing what you're describing.
Mhm.
The person has picked the person up, driven them to Milford,
Gotcha, yeah.
or whatever, waits, and then drives the person back. So they have some sense of, you know, how much time should be allotted for that sort of travel. So they don't leave the person. Now, if it's utilized continuously and all day, and maybe things would change, but that's how we've been doing it.
That's much better than what normally happens.
Does Parks and Rec still have a vehicle?
Well, we just took it away and took the Park and Rec logos off and just left the town of Bethany on. So the answer is no. Park and Rec didn't want to use it anymore. They felt that it was sat out here for a very long period of time, and we were continuously apparently changing the battery. So
What type of vehicle will do?
it's a van.
It was a van, they
van.
just use it to bring them to Bethany Park.
And to, I'm told catechism or
They would, they would pick up at CCD to bring them back to after school.
And they didn't want the liability of driving the children. And they didn't feel they had the need for it, so, I mean, they were very clear about that. So we decided that we would keep the vans since it's old and we could use it. So that several things, if someone's going from here to the bank to make a deposit, they'll drive the van in theory. If someone's going to Home Depot to pick up, rather than charging for mileage. If someone's going to Home Depot to pick up a supply of things from Public Works, they'll use the van. I mean, Leslie and I went to a conference today, I didn't even think of it, but we probably could have taken the van. I mean, we don't really know how well it's working yet, but we changed the battery and now it's working and people start it all the time. And
It's like a full van, a bus? It's a van, not a bus.
it's a van.
Okay, okay.
Um,
I'm picturing a bus. So
I
I
think
it's,
I think it seats 9, right?
no, it's better than this now.
It's not.
Buying it because the other one was falling apart.
Or have already taken the seats out so that, or some of the seats out, so that it could be utilized for other purposes.
For small cargo?
Good way of saying it, small cargo, yeah.
So if summer camp, if they're gonna go to the lake, they have to pay to rent a bus from B&B.
They'll get dropped off at the lake.
They would,
Picked up at-
it, they would probably work it the way they have in the past. 2 years ago, Friday was lake day, so you were dropped off at the lake and you were picked up at the lake.
Yeah, Park and
Makes
Rec,
sense.
I mean, really, the way it was described to me that you didn't use it. The Park and Rec used it the last time for the Harvest Festival to take stuff up from
Small
here to
cargo.
there. Set up there, but they really didn't want the liability of driving a child, in there
Fair.
when something happened, yeah. So
Okay,
it didn't make
good.
sense to try and sell it, didn't make sense. We still have the ability to use it for other things, and it's been used already. I know DPW has used it, Don has used it. I mean, he regularly, goes to our recycling dumping area for town hall, and he will take the cardboard and put it in the back of his car or truck and then drive it to recycling. And instead, he's been putting it in the back of the van, and driving it to recycling. Things like that.
That sounds useful, right?
But we're using it.
And I mean, Park and Rec may use it, but it will be when they are heading to get supplies for summer camp.
Yeah.
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 And then it becomes neutral. No positive, no negative, because there's no mileage, right? Like there's just no,
Yeah, well, maybe.
because
I
the
have
town's
no
already
idea.
paying for it, so Park and Rec uses it to go.
Yeah, but gas in it, but yeah.
Yeah.
And we still put insurance on it.
Yeah.
Well, the town still.
You have to pay for it,
right?
Yeah. And right now, this year, I mean, the federal reimbursement is 72.5 cents a mile.
Is it?
Yeah, that's what the mileage reimbursement is, 72.50.
Wow. It's a lot cheaper to just use that.
Can we go back to the main budget again? I wonder, like, where do you see this shaking out now?
Where do I see it shaking out? Come down to the bottom,
But there's a lot missing.
there is, I mean, like,
Bethany's missing, the Board of Ed.
Yeah.
and- But Amity's,
Amity is in, but South.
Amity went down. Amity found some additional savings. So, what a shocker. It is at 1.54.
okay.
Right, but
We still have an increase.
we will still have an increase.
So they had a reduction in benefits, certified salaries, classified salaries, communications, oil heating, and they had rentals, transportation supplies, tuition, utilities, professional technical, and equipment tech replacement all had reductions, which came out to $390,000, which brought the budget to 1.54%.
Whatever it saves us, a little bit.
Well,
here.
yeah, because what it saves in the budget also saves us in our
Allocation.
allocation.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I didn't,
So now,
what is our allocation? Did they give you that too?
yes, Bethany. I don't know how to read this stupid chart. Higher revenues, 55,000, higher operating expenditures, 147. Variance dollar to budget is 285.
It's not that one.
Huh?
Yeah, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, continue, Sally.
So appropriate is 147. So 285 minus 147.
This was a change, I think, to the previous budget with a one. Oh, no,
Mm-mm.
no, you're right.
Our meeting was canceled, so we didn't get to go over this per se. We're going over it next Monday.
So it sounds like there's a lot of stuff that still needs finalizing. A few agencies that you're waiting on, the insurance, medical,
Health insurance.
health, yeah, the benefits,
I mean, I can explain legal a little bit.
Can you
but
talk
it's
us
a
through
guess.
your budget as well, the selectmen's budget, or are you still working on that one?
I'm still working on it, but I'm happy to, I'm open to any suggestions, but I can give you some of the thought process. But in terms of legal, we contracted with a new town attorney, starting December. His fee is $3,000 a month, which was less than, it's, so it's $3,000 a month for general questions, issues, things like that. For example, he's gonna come down and talk to planning and zoning, he's gonna do a training, whatever, that's included, and he said, oh, that's included. Things that are over 12 hours, he'll then bill hourly. I think it's after the 12 hours.
So we get 12 hours a month?
12 hours
No,
a
no,
matter or
a
12
matter,
hours?
a
Okay,
matter.
that's good.
And some things are, but there's also, for example, we went, I don't know how he's gonna bill this, I mean, we just received the bill for December. And it was just $3,000 and we paid it, I don't know what January is gonna be, and, you know, we sort of have to look at it as we go. Because on the first lawsuit that we received on the Mastrangelo matter, and I'm not saying something that's hidden, we have, Karma has assigned an attorney to handle that. So we're not paying for the defense of that case. On the other hand, I was subpoenaed, our current attorney was subpoenaed, and our former attorney was subpoenaed to court to respond to different things, and we all had to go. So he's gonna be charging us for that, plus then, and this always happens during a changeover, our previous attorney, I've asked him to continue to handle a couple of things that he had. I mean, he was at the end of, and it didn't make sense for someone else to get in the middle of it. So at some point this month, he submitted a brief to the Freedom of Information Commission. So I'm sure we'll get a bill for that. And I'm sure we'll get a bill from him for having been subpoenaed to court. And I'm sure we'll get a bill from our new attorney for having been subpoenaed to court. So there's gonna be some overlap for a little bit. And then we just have to see how it goes. And so that's our town attorney. We also hired another attorney, to negotiate the union contract, which is this year, that wasn't in last year's budget or the year before. I think the contract is 3 years. So it's coming up, and I just received a letter from AFSCME wanting to begin negotiations. So I had to send that to the Labor Council, and the Labor Council has been hired. He's just great, and he'll be hired to negotiate that. So, and he charges $2.50 an hour. Now, normally these guys charge substantially more, but because it's a municipality, they all lower their charge. If you catch it's lowering their charge to $2.50 an hour. But that will be on an hourly basis, and that's a fee we didn't have before, last year or the year before. So that's a little bit about the attorney. There are a couple lawsuits pending, I think I told you about, without getting into them. So our attorney is gonna have to be, responding to those as well. In terms of my budget, some of what, I'm looking at is we were very fortunate, we had a person working for us who did an inordinate amount of things. And inordinate amount of departments, like a little bit of HR, a little bit of grants, a little bit of payroll, a little bit of, and did everything. As a result, she is no longer here, she took a wonderful job. And so we have somebody, we really still need these services. So Leslie and I sat, you were in on that, right? I think with a payroll company, because it made more sense to me to hire a payroll company to do our payroll, to do our onboarding, to do, for any new employees, and that would include all the seasonal employees for the, Park and Rec, as they come on either for Bethany Hoops or a particular pickleball tournament, or a class, or summer camp. They would do all the onboarding for that. And they just gave us a quote that I will send out to all of you. We had them quote 2 things, our general, last month, I think, unless it was this month or last pay, we had 61 employees we were paying. And that was town as well as some of the park and rec people. In the summer, we have anywhere from 80 to 120. Different prices that will fluctuate every month depending on how many people we have. So, you know, it will be a lower price if during a lot of months where we don't have a lot of people, and it'll be higher probably in June and July. So I'll send you what they sent me. They also have a separate department in this particular company that just does HR. And I met with him via Zoom on Monday and talked about different options that they could offer us. We don't need fancy options, we don't need a full-time HR person, but we do need someone to go. We don't have a lot of policies and procedures in place, and while I've been working on those, I mean, it's very hard to do that. They would be doing that. And then once all this stuff is in place, there's 3 tiers. The thought was the middle tier, we don't need the Cadillac, and we need more than the basic, but once all this stuff is in place, maybe we could just go to the basic where they would just update us each year and keep us apprised of the current laws. For both of those, and don't hold me to this, but it's roughly around 40,000, which I thought would be a lot more. And we could do one, we could do both, we don't have to do either, but I'll send you what I have. And because I just got them. And we're not paying benefits, we're not paying anything like that, and that way we don't have to hire a part-time person, and because I don't know if we're gonna need an HR person every day or 3 days a week, or who knows. So it's things like that that I was looking at, and we just guessed. We literally guessed as to how much people would be for something like that. I need to get a part-time grant writer. I have no idea how much that will be. We guessed, we put like 40,000 because we're guessing. I'm being honest with you, we just don't know. I'd love to have a grant writer to share with a larger city, so we're not competing for the grants. So I'm in the process of talking, and I'm meeting tomorrow with someone from Scrub who does grants, who will talk to me about that and potentially, you know, what something like that might entail. In the meantime, I've been talking to mayors and selectmen of bigger towns and cities to see if we can share somebody. Somebody who will do their grants, but also look for grants for us. And that way we won't compete because we were not going to be looking what they're going to be looking for. Where I am on all this, I don't know yet.
Question, grants for a municipality, is it a very unique thing? Or could we find someone who does grant writing for nonprofits? Is there overlap, or is it just so different that we need somebody that's just?
I sincerely have no idea. I'm guessing a grant is a grant, but it's trying to find the right grant and there's lists of grants and there's tables you have to read and things you have to know about. Do you know more details?
I think the actual writing of the grant is the same as generic. It doesn't matter what it's for. It's just, it's not, and it's not even the reporting. It's where do you go to look for them that is very different, because municipalities do not qualify for a lot of grants that are out there. We qualify for a lot of things through the state that are geared for municipalities, but it is 2 different genres that are searching. So the question becomes, are we looking for the seeker or the writer? Or are we looking for someone that can do both?
And the other thing is, from what Jen was kind enough to explain before she left, was once you get the grant, you have to monitor the grant, administer the grant, close out the grant, and it's not just an easy thing.
And every grant is different. And each grant is unique. Because you don't know who gets assigned to it.
And federal grants are different from state grants.
Yes, I'm on a nonprofit board, and they're looking for a part-time grant writer.
Oh,
I didn't
maybe
know
we
if-
could share one.
But it sounds like it's different than that. I'll ask.
Yeah. But that's what some of that is too. It was a guess. I mean, to be honest with you, but we do need these services in the town, and we need them in order for the town to function. I mean, people need to get paid, and we do need money coming in. So we need some of this.
So talk me through that second line there, salary and wages full-time other.
Mhm.
That is one person?
That
or-
is one person. That is, at the present time, it is one person.
Mhm.
It is the executive assistant to the first selectman. As
And
a
I
full-time.
just,
She has an ad out for that position.
and I have, and we've offered for that 65 to 68, I think is what we put in the ad. And again, depending on who it is and what they want, do we just do it at 65 and then give an incentive 6 months and then see where, I don't know, we're not there yet. I mean, we haven't begun interviewing yet. People are just, we've had some, resumes sent in, so. So that's what that position is.
And then the one beneath it, I was just reading the notes.
Okay.
It said, calculate day and part-time grant writer, totally got that one, and HR, does
Mhm.
that include the HR contracted service?
Well, when we put it together, we were thinking a part-time HR person.
Okay.
Okay.
Things have changed since then.
So, but the dollar, that's why I said we didn't know if all this cost would remain in selectmen or if some would move over into finance. Because part of,
Right now, that line is day, or no?
yes, but it also includes the 2 selectmen. Selectmen 2 and 3 also receive a small stipend, and that is included in that line.
I think it's a total of 2,000 each, right? Or
It's
2,500 each.
2,400, it's $600 a quarter.
So,
God, I hope
recording
they don't
secretary is.
run away
40,
on vacation.
Minutes clerks for the Board of Selectmen.
Yeah, everything else I'm okay with. I was a little concerned that you decreased, that you don't have a lot of money for professional development. I don't know, if you're hiring someone without training, just not enough.
It wasn't really for that, it was really for me,
Oh, okay.
going to the karma things that we have to pay for in Sprague and.
Okay, the 1,500 in comparison to the $3,600 from last year, or in
Yeah.
comparison to this
Yeah.
year's budget? The $3,600 included me as well. My professional development was included under the selectmen's budget,
And now it's put under.
and now it's under finance.
So that's why we took that out. We're trying to make this a little more honest and.
Yes,
Makes
so
sense.
we took that 36 and we split it into like 2 15s, one in selectmen and one in finance.
One thought for the grant writer things too, I think I had sent it to you, Carol, just that Fairfield U has a program that is grant writing. I don't know, like, I would call the department and say, do you have students that you recommend, or you, just some kind of a pipeline. I
study
think
that.
Bridgeport U has one too,
Internship?
but I don't know. But yeah, just, they have programs now specifically for grant writers,
Yep.
since none of us really know.
No, I
that
thank you for that.
industry.
It's really interesting because we sat at a table today with a gentleman from a town of 1,500 people. And he was going through the grants that he received, like 14 million for the fire department and, 7 million for this and 9.5 million for that. Because, and I'm looking at him like with my job, and then he said, we have 1,500 people, we can't afford any of this, and you still need a fire department, and you still need a this, and you still need a that, and I'm thinking, who is your grant writer? I want that person. It's clear on the other side of the state, but, he said that they spend an inordinate amount of time going through lists of grants and just applying and applying and applying. And I will say one thing I learned, with the recycling committee, we applied for a grant for food waste to do composting or to, I don't know what it was, something. And we didn't get it. It wasn't a lot, but we didn't get it. We were gonna have different things around the town. And we sat with them as to why we didn't get it. And I mean, some of the reasons were interesting and valid, but some of it is really how you write it. And there's a trick to writing these grants, apparently. I don't mean that facetiously, but there's an appropriate way to do this so
Yeah.
that,
Certain buzzwords
Right.
or.
yep,
Mhm.
so office supplies, we don't know what to do with this. We're gonna either take it all out and put it in. I've decided the finance office should do all the office supplies from every department, so their budget will go up. Because everybody's will be in there. The bulletin, I have no idea, it's a guess. The bulletin went up because I was told sometimes the bulletin was 8 pages and went to 12, or it was 12 and went to 16, I don't know, but I guess we'll just see how it goes.
I'm not sure if this year's budget number would I believe this year's budget was set before we received the price increase from Joyce Printers to do it.
Question,
The only reason why we are saving money on that this year is because the pages have decreased. So,
and a thought is there a way that we can ask town people if they wanna receive it printed or electronically? Cause I'll take mine electronically, I don't need mine printed, but I think we have to offer to the people who need it printed still.
well, if we're going to print it, and if we are not going to deliver it to everyone,
postage
then
is
we
Just pay
And,
it's first class postage to send it to those that want it.
yeah, every household direct is cheaper. It's just a blanket.
right.
every
It's
mailbox.
substantially cheaper.
Mhm.
I
They
actually
just put
spoke-
it every bill box, yeah.
I actually spoke to a group and said, oh, I'm really thinking of not having, bulletin. Why are we spending $28,000? Let's put all of this on a website that at some point, I don't know where this goes in here, because I don't think we put it in. I really want to redesign the website and make it a really interactive thing that people could see what's going on daily. I mean, I could put something in, it doesn't have to be formal, but this is, you open it up and there's a calendar and these are the meetings tonight, click on it, you'll know exactly where it is and what it is, makes sense. So I said, oh, we'll just do that. Oh my God, to a person. They were like, please don't get rid of the bulletin. I love reading the bulletin. I love holding it.
It is
So
a very good communication tool.
that was a good idea, but obviously not. It was only my idea. So we're not gonna get rid of the bulletin.
And we
But-
don't mind.
Yeah.
50-50, cause I hate printed anything, like I hate, yeah,
You're so good.
yeah.
With my paper.
yeah.
I
Like-
was-
Older paper, I think
And,
it's.
and we probably have our proportion of more on that side than the other side in town based on other issues we have, right?
And choosing our battles. You could add some QR codes for, read this for more information. Even, seniors have
To
phones.
reduce pages,
Yeah,
yes.
so seniors
Yeah.
have phones, you could just say, we're talking about this, and here's the major points, if you want all the details,
Great idea.
read this story online, and you could get your
That's a
phone
good
out
idea.
and do it.
It's a
And
great
that
idea.
would still have something in hand, they can see what the hot topics are, and if they want all the details from Kay's desk, they could.
You can
do that.
also do that more gradually, right? Like you can do a story or two and then pay attention to how many clicks you're actually getting on those. If, you could actually do
So
it in an
this is why
informed
we
way.
need staff to know how to
Mm.
do any of this stuff. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I don't have the time to do that and figure all that out, but.
Yeah, you need a person. I
You need a
100% agree. Yeah. But
Um,
you need somebody to do the bulletin and
Someone
generally.
does it, yeah.
Well, someone does do the.
Sometimes that's.
So someone does do the bulletin.
I will say this, and don't hold me to it, because this may not be true once I have more things to say to people. But I really made a decision that I was gonna do this on one page. And that was it, just the front page. And so I did that in December. And I wrote up the few things to because my goal is not to talk about stuff that's happened, but to sort of give people information.
Yeah.
So I wrote the one for January yesterday, and I said, I need this on one page, and it fit on 3/4 of the page. So then I had to think of other things to say to them.
You just enlarge your picture.
So trying to keep it so that
Use
you
a
know,
bigger phone, then we don't have to grab our glasses.
there you go. So, see.
Yeah. If that's all you have to say, just make the font bigger. I mean,
Yeah. Well, then I added stuff about the recycling survey, the results of it, so people could
that's
have
good.
that. Yeah,
You didn't put info about each delivery each day.
I did not,
or
I did not,
all your activities every day.
Did you mention Valentine's Day was coming?
I didn't,
Mm.
sorry.
Golly,
We,
President's Weekend?
I didn't, we have a, we did the.
So this is
state
a-
emergency this, past weekend. Let's hope we don't have to do it again on Sunday. But the reason I did it was because with 20 inches of snow and the fact that we were going to get people working on the roads for a minimum of 36 hours, if we get any money from FEMA, if the state does, it allows us to then ask for money for overtime, and some other things, so. we
Interesting.
get that.
That's
Is
the
it
way
like
that's
the
how it
China
works.
Things that we
Yeah.
get FEMA money, no,
Hmm.
but it at least, I mean, the difficult part is our poor emergency management guy now has to fill out
I got FEMA money with
47,000
our governor.
forms, but it's okay. It's
Gotta
okay.
turn our state a different color.
Correct. It's good practice.
Right,
It is good practice.
so that's what some of that was and why it was more.
But those are areas that we are fine tuning. And one of the features that is very good as far as the payroll portion of the outsourcing of the HR and payroll is right now we are a 100% manual paper timesheet town.
Yeah.
We are looking to go to an automated system where everyone logs their own time electronically.
And they do all the FICA and everything.
Yes.
And
They
then
have
like
the
a winning,
vacation
win,
and sick
win,
times and-
win.
W-2s and all that.
Right, so.
And we do
Number
have a
four.
payroll company now that processes our payroll and does the W-2s, but we have to manually enter all the data into the system. So every 2 weeks.
So, in my opinion, whatever they charge us, you also can reduce what that's gonna take each employee to actually do all the work that they do now, and you've got some time gained because
Right. It'll be
it's
a
an
lot of time gained
efficiency, yeah.
to like
Like
figure
silly
out the
time
clicks
gained.
on the bulletin, you know, see, we can do that. But it will be, I'm not,
Your person, once you get your person, will have no problem.
okay.
It won't even be a thought, so just take. It's
not
really
that- It's not
easy.
that hard, like, but I
Yeah.
don't know how to do it, but I'm told it's quite easy.
Oh, good.
Do it, and
Yeah.
it's really easy.
Good to know.
There you
Yeah.
go.
I can't even get my phone to scan the stupid code. It's this one and that one, and then it'll get on. Oh, I got it. Nope. I'm like, going, forget it. I didn't want to know that anyway.
So you don't get the in-depth details, that's fine.
I do if I'm with Jake.
Oh, okay, yes.
You have to pick your people.
Yeah.
Multi-generational, community dynamics running the computer.
Thank you, Vinny. We played our friend. So, let's sort of do like a refocus on this meeting. Let's go back to the main budget.
What do you wanna see?
Yep.
So, although you mentioned that it's not complete yet, we definitely want to see the big ones that we had already talked about,
Okay.
which is.
All right, so on 2/3 at 4 o'clock, I have Park and Rec lined up. 5 o'clock, the fire department will be here.
I'm sorry, start from the top again.
4 o'clock is Park and Rec,
This is on February 3rd.
yes. 5 o'clock is the fire department. 7 o'clock is Public Works. 6 o'clock right now is open. On
That's dinner.
Public
So 7 is what?
Works. On 2/10. At 4 o'clock is the community school.
At what time?
4. And those are the 4 that I have concrete, hard fast assigned right now.
Did we
The question is, who else do you want to?
get something from the library?
Yes, we did.
I didn't see anything from the library
I
in here.
didn't really see it either. I didn't see it either.
In the community services, Vinny, can you pull that page up? Miscellaneous community services, I think.
Okay.
There we go.
Library annual appropriation.
Gail submitted a flat budget because that's what we had asked for.
Mhm.
And her narrative embedded in there calls for a wage freeze for all of her people. That was the only way she could give us a 0% budget because of the other rising costs everywhere else.
So do we have what the wages are?
Yes, I went back to her that, and I asked her, how much more do you need if you were to give your employees a raise? She said to give them a 2.8% raise, which goes, what was her? She said, to allow raises for everyone at 2.8%, which was the cost of living increase for 2026, she would need an additional $7,000.
Oh my God.
That's the issue with a lot of these. None of this, even if we kept it the same as last year, none of it includes.
Right, I get that, but I mean,
And the thought was, can somebody reduce it? And then here's the other thing, maybe you guys can come up with this, but in talking to the heads of some of these departments, I've asked people to please not spend money because they have it from June 1st to June 30th. And you know that's gonna happen. I mean, Amazon basically lives here. So I said, is there some kind of incentive we can give you? Like if you don't spend it, we'll promise to give you the same budget you had last year. Just don't spend it. But what kind of incentive
I
is
thought
that?
we
It's
give
not
them a
really gonna
raise
help them.
instead.
So I'm open to thinking of something to encourage people to not spend the money because people have admitted to me that we're just afraid if we don't spend it, you really
You
won't
lose
give it
it,
to
yeah.
us. And I've said to them, what if I can get the Board of Finance to agree? Yes, you'll get at least what you got last year, but you're not gonna get more. But how do we do this? But I don't know what kind of incentive or how to include that, or, because if they could save $2,000, maybe they could have the extra 2,000 to use next year, but that would make our budget go up. So I don't know how to do it. I look to you to see if there's anything you could think of.
what is the dollar amount for, like overall for like raises if they're like 2.8?
I haven't, we've started a separate spreadsheet for
Okay.
that. So I will have
Well,
that
I'm just-
information. So we, Carol had asked me to do it on like 4% intervals on a given range, and
I looked at
We
two
have
and a
done that.
half, 3. No, 2.5, 275, 3, 325 is what I asked for. Cause I didn't know where you guys were and what you wanted.
so we have those preliminary numbers. But what I don't have yet is the overall impact, because I don't have all the boxes filled in here. So
Right.
that is my goal for Tuesday night. To get those boxes filled in so that we can see what that looks like. For us to back out the raises that any department head put in that we haven't reviewed yet. And then to do the comprehensive, what does it mean across the board?
Right. And I hear what you're saying, Carol. It just, I don't know how to say this politely. To me, I don't think you should be rewarded for doing the right thing. And that's what we're doing. You do the right thing by not wasting money at the end of the year, and we're going to reward you for that. You shouldn't have to reward someone for doing the right thing.
I agree with you, but
And I think if you see that expenses at this point are less than 50%, then, you know, again, unless there's a valid reason why they've got to spend more this second half, I think they should. I think they should be held.
well, that was my concern before coming here. That I would be here in the summer and I would, honest to God, I've never seen so many boxes in my life arrive for various departments. And it's not just one department. And people just said, well, we have this money, we don't want to lose it. So in June, they started ordering everything. I don't know how you stop that. I mean, that seems to be pervasive.
Well, possibly the office supplies in one central area might
I
help.
haven't
Could
done
they
that.
buy it?
What they've done is, so two things are happening. And again, it's, trying to get all this stuff at the same time. So people, some people just order on their own, some departments do. Some other departments, all goes through Vinny. And he will, if it's, I asked to approve everything. I didn't care if it was $1, but some things I'm getting, if it's over 1,000 or over 2,000, I have to approve anyway. But some things are coming to me, you know, Vinny's been very kind, he'll come in, what do you wanna do with this? And I have called in the department head and said, what do you wanna do with this? Why was he buying? I'm not gonna tell you what, cause you'll know what department, but like really silly things, and we're live on camera. So, and so the person has explained to me, and some things is yes, and it was explained it, and it's like, okay, I got it. And some things, it's like, there's no reason, you have other stuff here you can use, and so we haven't bought it. But I mean, again, we're talking about, you know, $25 here or $17 there, but it's trying to get people in the mindset of, please, let's just buy what we need. And so we're trying. So I haven't taken away the credit cards yet, because mostly the people some people have them, but most people who have them are DPW. And, you know, they need a hose in the middle of, you know, they're stuck in the middle of the road and the hole's blue. They're not gonna go to Vinny, who's gonna go to me, who's gonna call DeGeneres and say, oh, go ahead and pay for it, you know, so.
That's true.
There is another reason why the town uses a P card program. Well, there is an incentive from the state to use a P card program, because they do give us cash back based off of our usage.
That's right.
That is one reason why we use them. The second reason why is auditors prefer towns to use P card programs versus employee reimbursement checks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I do.
Because most times with the P card, it is an automatic tax-free exemption.
Yeah, that's.
So, I mean, that is one of the biggest trends for reasons for using the P card, is because it cuts down significantly on the employee reimbursements. It is a better trail. It is a better overall monitoring of the spending. It might sound far-fetched, but it does help. It does help monitor, because we are allowed to exclude various types of vendors and types of
Yeah.
establishments.
You can't go to a jewelry store and use your P card.
We have had one individual that has been declined because of the location of a conference they have gone to, because the location was on the no-no list. So. There were restrictions on them, so it's help.
Just so you guys know, I mean, we're going through every single check and invoice. Just to make sure, and every Wednesday night, we get these checks, and not all of us are agreeing to sign them. So some checks aren't getting signed and things aren't being paid until the invoice is either really complete, so that, again, is the person still entitled to that end amount? Probably, or more likely, yes, but let's do the process correctly. So either sometimes we're not signing them for that reason, and sometimes it's like, I need to know the reason. And once you know the reason, oftentimes I confess to you, it's like, oh, got it, and you just pay for it. And I'm sure the longer I'm here, some of this is just being new, but the longer I'm here, I'm gonna say, oh, I know what that is, you know, but we're really going through this stuff with a fine tooth comb. Is it saving us money and helping you guys?
But it's setting the expectation
Right.
tone in the process, so it's a
and-
good thing to do now.
And I think that you talked, I can't remember when, about doing reviews and having more of a process for that. Well, could you incorporate that, some of the good behavior into the performance review? I mean, that's how we always had it.
You
is
come in under budget,
Have a criteria or.
you know,
It was,
you get a little bit more.
ours was more, we shifted at one
Yeah.
point to forecasting, not budgeting. A forecast, you need to be within 5% of the forecast. It's not that you can't go over. It's your goal is that you're not trying to be way over and you're not trying to be way under. You are trying to be, and you got rewarded for being accurate. Now, again, you certainly can build it into your performance.
No,
Paperwork.
That's a good thing to put in.
It just, it's cultural, right? Like, you're embedding it culturally. You're not tit for tatting and treating people like they're not mature adults. We have mature adults.
So this round of reviews, or increases in pay, is it gonna be performance based, or is this gonna be across the board in departments, or?
I've heard that this department, this group really, really wanted it to be merit-based. And I'm gonna suggest here that we can't do that at this point, because here's why.
There's no merit yet.
We don't have policies, we don't have a full training of the heads of every department. It's never been done yet. That the heads of every department is, this is how you fill this out, this is what you do, this is what the average means. And usually merit-based, the department head then makes a decision on how much you think that person should get paid extra, if they should. At least in any corporation I'd ever been in. And so they're not trained for that yet.
Mm.
And so my thought was, I can make sure on your behalf that we actually do reviews this year. And one department wants to do them with me tomorrow, so that before they come to you, they can say, I did these reviews. And I'm gonna do them with them because they asked me to. So we're gonna start the review, see what it is, see what we need. Part of talking to this couple of companies about HR kind of stuff is, can you give us different criteria? Can you teach us how to do this? Can you teach our department heads? But it's not only the department heads, we also have to give the expectation to the employee, to be able to say to the employee, this is what's expected here, because we need to, I've been given a notebook of job descriptions, most of which are not really what the people are doing. So we have, it's a good beginning, but we have to go through it. So I think it will take, you've probably heard this before, but I'm happy to do what you want because I understand the way you want to go with it. But I think it'll take a year of truly getting this, getting the policies, teaching the people, teaching the employees, making sure that with the people that we hire, that we tell them this is what's going to happen, so that everybody is aware, so that we're not saying to someone, so that everybody knows how to do it. That's
And
so,
that was
so,
before you start the period that
Right.
can be evaluated.
right, so, and maybe we start as of next year or something, so. I would ask you not to have it be merit-based, even though I know that's what you really want, at least that's what I've been told. And I respect that a lot, but I don't know that we're ready for that. I don't think people have been trained, but I'm here to listen.
So, I think I'll speak for this board. If everyone disagrees with me, let me know. I think we are okay with what you propose, as long as you have like a tangible plan to get to merit-based incentive pay. And, your plan is to get policies this year and everyone's gonna get a review this year? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
And next year we can have.
And I will
from
tell
there.
you, this is, since it's not my thing, I'm not an HR expert. I need help with doing this and with the amount of stuff I have to do. This is a portion of it, and this really could be a full-time job. So I think it will take me a while, but yes, I believe that every department should at least, and they could do it with me initially, I mean, at least sit down and with the people in that department and say, let's just talk about, it could be informal, how did you do this year? What are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what do you want to see happen, this is what we want to see happen. And just know that we're gonna be going to a more formal method, but at least we can start conversations that I've never had before. And then I then need to talk to everybody that doesn't have a department head and have those same conversations and advise them of the expectations. I'm happy to do all of that. But in terms of the formal documents and the formal training, which I think we all have to, I'm hoping a HR person, place can help set that up.
The company name of the HR company.
Begins with an A, it's on my, it's like Azure, hold on, I can find it, keep talking.
My company's have used a lot of these places, that's why I'm just curious.
Okay, I'm open to any of them. We just, I got this because someone I know who is really, really anal, and interviewed a lot of companies. Said to, this is who they settled on, and I figured, oh, that means that they vetted a lot of places already.
So back to the schedule though, while you're looking at that, so on 2, 3, we've got Parks and Rec at 4, 5 o'clock, the fire department.
Mhm.
7 o'clock, we have Public Works.
Mhm.
2:10, which is the day of our
Meeting.
meeting.
Mhm.
So we've got 4 o'clock BCS.
Mhm.
Did you say anything after that?
Nope.
Nope, okay.
That's all we have so far.
And so we decided we wanted community services.
So we want human
Human
services.
services, all right.
And who else do you want? That's the question. Who else do you want to speak to?
The company is ASURE. It's the people that I've been talking to both on both sides. Now, if anybody has any company you want me to talk to, I'm happy to. Because I don't know one from the other, but they were a decent price and sort of did what we want, and the contract for them is only a year.
So, who else have you viewed
In the past,
budget?
this
Or-
this body has met with every department head.
Which I don't,
No, well, we've come back over the
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
yeah, some of them did it Zoom or some of them just gave the information.
Well, I don't know that we feel like we
I
need.
don't think you need the tax assessor or the.
I don't think you can talk to the tax collector or the assessor.
No.
You know,
Those were pretty easy. Those were the first ones we did, and even I got them right away. It was pretty simple.
That's why I started.
They need funding for education though, right? Certification. Right?
Board of Ed, yeah.
How about,
Then she's saying the
is that
assessor
worth,
gonna need
or is it pretty straightforward?
certification.
It's pretty straightforward.
Let's see what I have.
But
Each return.
and last year we spent money on guns and some things like that we're not gonna have to buy this year.
Guns, we bought guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a
We
big
did our
problem.
constables.
Yeah,
and-
how they were registered or something.
They're using their personal one.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, because Jazz just retired and, you know, I mean, yeah, or the problem came in is what happens if if one of the constables, you know, you don't know, what if they get involved in something off company time but use the town gun? You know, or if they use their gun on town time. But that's used in other things as well, so it's the chain of evidence, the chain of custody, that's why we went with the town issued.
I'm gonna have to get going.
I think it also, the clerk's office, do we want them? I think we, right?
Is there anything happening that is different?
They're usually very organized, so we could probably read through their.
You can.
Things.
He is, the town clerk again is asking for the advanced certification for staff. So the question is, do you wanna speak to him regarding that?
Sure. Yeah, why is he saying, just educationally, why?
It's professional development for the staff, and that is in the budget again, so I don't know if you wanna talk to him, if you don't, if you wanna take a look at it and let me know next week if I can then schedule it for the following week. I can reach out to Will and ask him to tentatively plan for the 10th.
Okay. What about fire marshal, fire department? It's 5 o'clock, okay.
Yeah, 5 o'clock. Do you wanna see the fire marshal?
Grand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that basically salary?
Looks so.
I don't think we went through that.
Do you want?
Yeah, we did look at the fire marshal.
We did, what did we do with that? Did we look at it?
Yeah, bring it up.
Okay.
Oh, and you said, you're gonna have that Amity team and Woodbridge Services.
They will be at a regular meeting. They'll be at the 7 o'clock meeting on the 10th.
Oh, yeah, the big thing here was. We have a combined fire marshal emergency management truck. And the truck needed service last year, as you can see, and it needs 4 tires this year.
But that's pretty much it.
Yeah, we should not have to do maintenance on this thing.
Well, I mean,
I mean, normal maintenance.
he has not requested any professional development for next year. We don't know if it was an oversight.
Does
But-
he usually?
Uh,
Yeah, usually
every year, right?
Yeah.
A trip or.
There's usually at least $2,500 in professional development.
I
for
think he
the
combined it with a personal trip last time, so.
The emergency management,
Oh,
two different.
But this,
Yeah.
it's 7% less leaving it the way
It is.
it is.
Alright, thanks, Sam.
Town hall.
Yeah,
town hall
I
IT.
think town hall in general, there are some things that I'd really like to go.
Okay, which,
We need to talk about IT at some point.
Yeah.
And what
Yeah,
else?
maybe that can be part of that, but
And-
the
and-
legal, general insurance
and I-
benefits.
We talked to Novus, they came in to see us. I don't know, maybe this week, maybe last week, and some of their prices, there are things that they're recommending that we do. That isn't in our budget. We
That
don't
is
put it in, for security purposes, which makes sense, and they're trying to spread it out, so we do a little bit here, we started to do it, and. We should send them, do you have did they send you the?
I got the slide deck, but I don't recall, I did not look at it, so I'm not sure if it's
Pages there.
the pages there with the cost for.
Yeah, the cost for each of the
Okay.
different security,
I did not
updates
look at
that
that.
we need.
The other thing, well, two other things that I'm interested in is seeing an org chart, staffing changes and increases. You know, if we can have that as a topic for one of our meetings.
Okay.
You're gonna be doing it all anyway.
I mean, honest to God, it's flat at the moment which is not a good organizational
it-
chart, but
Oh, I see. what
you know, okay. I'll put in, I'll be happy to do it.
It's something that you wanna have.
Yeah, I know. It's just one more thing,
One
but
more thing,
I'll just draw something.
save it to the
Well,
end.
once
You
you
can
get,
try it.
once you
Simple.
get your person,
Oh God, I need that person so badly. Anybody wanna help come do interviews?
I would be fine to come help.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, that'd be really good. And last thing is revenues, and I don't know if that's been done in the past, but I wanna go through all of them. Or at least an understanding of.
Yep, no,
And we have Park and Rec next week. Are we gonna be able to have a revenue discussion with them at the
Yes.
same time? Yeah, okay.
Can they do an actual, like, by program, revenues and expenses? Is
Yes.
That'd be great, if they can provide that.
yes.
From what they described to me, they hope to be fully, what's the word? Self-sustaining
Uh,
at some point. I mean,
This year.
I don't mean 10 years. I mean, like, within 5 years. But they're trying to do every, different thing that they do. They're getting closer and closer and closer. And I think don't hold me to this. There's some program, I don't know if it was Hoops or something, that they made a little money. So they're hoping to be able to build this. And then right now it's just children, but they want to do pickleball. They're going to try that, and they're going to want to just do more and more things. But Nicole says to me that her goal is ultimately for it to be a fully sustainable program, and I believe her.
That's
Great.
great.
Yeah. That's super.
Okay.
So human services,
Maybe Human Services can come next week at 6 o'clock then.
Yeah.
We will see what we can do for that.
I'll check with Will. Town clerk, human services, Don will cover a lot, you know what, I will throw Nick in here for IT, one of the nights is.
Do we need a full hour for each of these?
Park and Rec,
Mm.
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably Public Works.
Yeah.
Public Works,
Dallas has 4 different budgets. that
Fire
he's
department?
the
presenting.
fire department will take a minimum of 30 minutes, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, I would say yes.
Mm-hmm.
We wanna, in addition to IT, we have to talk, legal fees, but also capital.
Yeah.
There was a
Yeah.
We don't
capital-
have that many.
I thought it was an increase this year for capital.
Yes, capital is quite large this year,
Yeah,
largely that is,
It's not the-
the driver on capital. It is fire department.
Yeah. Is the sheet embedded anywhere, Vinny, is that one? For the capital?
Thing one, thing two, thing three.
No, it's. Isn't.
I saw capital somewhere.
There
It's on,
it is.
it's on the.
That one, they want the capital budget plan, because that's where we are.
Yeah, the next one.
This is the one that we want.
The
So
third-
that's the right one.
Not the OG.
Yeah, not the OG.
Well, depreciation doesn't,
Come
you
in
don't
on it.
depreciate, right? There's no depreciation, you don't, you do?
Yeah, we do.
It's not in the
Where's
capital
that
plan.
It's not the plan, no, but it is part of the.
Okay. So there are little things and then big things that are paid for.
Yeah, we went over that.
Yeah.
Like this
So-
paving is-
Road paving,
Mm-hmm.
a backhoe. Parking over at the lodge. And then down to Vets Park,
Except
down
we're
to
hoping to
the pavilion.
apply for a steep grant with that.
Yep.
But we don't know what the steep grant subject matter is gonna be yet. Don has, done a whole thing written out for lighting and paving the Veterans Park and the hill going down and part of the thing at the lake. But we don't know, and the soccer field and a geese.
Remediation program. Serves that will
Yeah,
just.
Border collie that just.
Dog park down there.
He's gonna complain that there's too much.
Too much poop, yeah.
but if there's, if that's not the subject, if the steep grant says it's for a whole
Pedes-
different subject matter.
Pedestrian in urban areas or
So
something.
what,
Yeah.
every year they come up with a theme?
Yes,
Yeah,
they do.
Yeah.
Yes.
And-
And it depends on which agency they feel like tasking with the maintenance and the management and the oversight of the grant.
Yeah.
Because the last one went into the Council of the Arts.
So for the capital budget,
Mhm.
is there an actual capital design or plan for the town?
5-year plan, you're saying?
likely.
As long as I have been here, there has not been a lot of forward thinking. Where would we like to see ourselves in 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? It hasn't been there.
The land trust did, and that's why we got the Simpson property.
And we have an economic development thing that might look and say, hey, we want to,
Right.
you know, expand something in this area for this purpose, you know, that should be on the 5-year
And the
plan.
fire department has one. And
They do.
Yeah.
DPW and fire, sort of.
yes,
It changes it every year though, so it's not like it's like
Yeah, I mean,
very firm.
it is,
They're separate.
but he is at
They're
least.
not a town plan.
Exactly.
They're parts of.
parts of it.
we have things that we know that we need to fix.
Yeah.
I mean, very sexy things like I have a culvert I need to fix, you know,
Yeah.
you know, it's just that I'm sure a lot of people in town are gonna be very excited about. But I'm not gonna do that, and it's not like there's a hole in the ground and people are gonna get hurt, but it does need to be fixed, so now I need to go out and look for grants to do it.
Yeah.
Because I'm now aware that that needs to be fixed, again, if it's not an emergency, so, I mean, it's not. But that's in the plan when I find the grant, but
And
at
that's
least
reactive.
we're starting to make a list of things that we know we need to do. But yeah, there should be a 5-year plan as we start, you know, there's so much that was well, let me just tell you, we just, had brought in an energy audit, I think I told you.
Oh, yeah,
about
how's
this time.
that?
And they came they gave us a whole thing of what they wanna do, and a lot of it is just wrapping. A lot of piping, which they said will make a difference. But today they came and actually really went through step by step all the stuff they have to do. And then we'll get a sheet saying how much it will be, what the rebates are, what our fee might be, And they're only giving us, because I keep saying, we're a town of 5,000 people, we don't have this much money. They're only giving us things that they think will, then we won't have to it won't cost much of anything, bottom line. And so I just don't have it, they came today, so
Yeah,
we'll get
yeah.
that. So little things like that, we're trying to be proactive about, so that we're not running into emergencies or things like that.
So this budget plan, I see it just during budget season. Like, where does this document live throughout the year? And like the thing, like the projects that you learn about, you might want to put out in future years so that we can talk about it mid-year. You know what I mean? Like, this is not a living document per se.
It is not from that standpoint, no,
And
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 it
it's,
should be,
it's an audit requirement and like,
and it should be.
and it, like, yeah.
Which goes back to the project report, you know, a better working project report that we can add those onto.
I also think there has to be continuity, one administration to the other, so that this is not related, I mean, there's a learning curve when you come in, and there shouldn't be to the degree that it can be, that, you know, it should be, here's the paperwork, here's what we've come up with, here's the plan, so that we know, I'm here 2 years, we're here 2 years into the plan, if the next person should be year 3, you know, we should be able to set that sort of thing up, in the ideal world.
You might be turning the Titanic, but you know, the Titanic can turn just inch by inch.
That's Vinny, I'm always sending him back, like, not gonna go sign this, not doing it.
There's a ton of portfolio management software or even tools that are great. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm happy to look at it, since that'd be great. Or someone will be coming to you for money for it, so.
You didn't hear her free at the bottom.
it's in certain phases, will actually be very helpful to you to understand like where they are in the planning process.
So let me give you a silly little example of something else. This body elect for a particular amount of money for permitting software for land use. And we sent out bids, we did bids and we got responses. But we also then didn't have a zoning enforcement officer when that came in. And we now have somebody who seems to know a lot about this stuff. So I'm asking him to straighten out the office, fix the backlog, and then figure out from his perspective, who has dealt with this and has taught this stuff, what do we need really and what do we not? And some of the bids that I understand were pretty costly, and his attitude is, for a town our size, we don't need all that. So let me figure out as we go along what we need, so I would rather wait, because maybe we don't need the 75,000 that you guys allotted, you know, maybe we could do something for less, but I don't know yet, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
just trying to figure out some of this stuff.
Well, no reason to rush if you've got somebody who can give really a valuable opinion on it.
You know, our building inspector is just, he works in a larger city full-time, and, you know, I had this discussion with him too, and he said you really have to figure out, a permitting program would be great, it would be easier, would be make things more efficient. And he said, but you gotta figure out if the cost is worth it for the amount of permits that we have, and, you know, that makes sense. There's a lot to do in a day, it's.
Yeah, you've been getting up to speed pretty quick on a million
Yeah.
things.
I have my notes, my homework, what else do you like want from my office for next?
Well, you're not gonna have it consolidated ready, I don't suppose.
Well, we updated more, but.
It, well, whatever.
Updated.
It-
Brief overview, maybe? Just-
we will continue to add in.
I think the salary impacts, like what are to the budget.
Mhm.
I didn't see a revenue thing at all. Was there a first look at revenue yet? Usually we do expenses and then revenue, but
Okay.
I'd like to take a peek at it.
The problem is I do not have any information from the state yet.
Like ECS.
I don't. I just based off of what they were saying today, I'm anticipating it to be pretty flat from what it was this year for next year, so that helps on the intergovernmental revenues. I can, the revenues are embedded in the town clerk,
Yeah.
so I can easily plug those in.
So last
Tax collector is always the plug number.
there was a decrease in our collections. And I have to look at my notes to find out the reason why. Do you remember that? There was probably because motor vehicle, there was a cab.
There was
Motor
that
vehicle,
change.
Yeah,
The rate was lower than the higher
Yeah,
half,
yes.
so we,
So we had a decrease
Collected
in
less.
collections
Right.
due to the motor vehicle. I'd like a look at the implications from last year. If it was flat.
but they,
We-
but they were taxed differently.
Yeah, next week is I will know what the grand list number is. Because that has to be certified and submitted by the end of this week.
Okay, well, it's first step for a big, big number.
Okay, I have to run. I have to pick up a child from basketball. At 8:50.
all right.
So,
Do you guys want to have calendar wise, do we need another meeting with you?
well, we have budget workshops scheduled for 2/3, 2/10.
But
And then our next meeting is 2/10. We will definitely need at least one more budget meeting after that.
Do we
So,
wanna do it the following week, or is that too soon? Like, 17th, 18th,
I can't do that.
19th,
Personally, I cannot.
that week, or the
Yes.
following week?
Following week is good. There's a school holiday as well. The 16th, 17th.
Oh, right, yes.
The 24th works for me.
Yeah, I've got a Lions meeting that night. But the Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, all good. No good.
I guess we're probably this week. Friday or Tuesday for me. Let's see. I could probably do Thursday.
The 26th?
Yeah.
I can't do the 26th, Thursday.
Thursday.
you work on
Thursday.
Thursdays.
I think our meeting should be at the restaurant. I
Yeah.
really do.
Take care.
I do. We do, oh, you can't.
We get nuts. You guys should have your meeting, I'll be.
So I was gonna say, you want it, you can't, somebody can't do the meeting on the 24th?
well, I'm not missing the first meeting.
Email or text and find the
It's a
next
joint
date.
meeting.
I mean, we don't have to do the next date while we're sitting here. We can
Okay,
email or
let's-
text.
Let's stall
Yeah.
that by a text then.
And I
You guys
think
can continue the meeting, but I'm sorry.
my only other ask, I think for next week is to make sure that we're using our time as efficiently as we can. So if you do think that there is one, let's then just adjust the time and try to be as succinct as we can.
Yeah, keep
Just, yeah, you know, cause if Dawn's gonna go over an hour, we wanna maybe start him a little earlier, so we're not here. all
But I think
night.
that could take an hour, he's got different budgets.
He will easily
Yeah.
take it. He's good.
Okay, well, exactly, but then we're here until.
8, and we're scheduled from 4 to
You're not gonna know.
Be-
Trust me, some we thought were gonna be easy turned into nightmares, and then ones that we thought were gonna be impossible were done in 30 minutes, and we were like, wow, that worked out really well. So you just don't know, it's,
That's a guess.
depends.
How do you,
With these big departments,
It depends how many questions we have
I've been doing it 17 years, so you just don't know.
You've
Is
been
there
doing it
anything you could-
17 years?
Lying down, yes. My last 6-year term.
is there anything that you can ask ahead of time that can even identify if it's gonna be longer?
See, you ask questions to their response, or what they're explaining,
Yeah,
and then you could have a hot topic, and the next thing you know, it's 15 minutes on that one topic.
Yeah.
Like, I just remember the library. We booked them for 15, 20 minutes, and sometimes it was an hour, and everyone was still arguing, and it was a disaster. And then you have, like, the fire department comes in, and everyone thought it would be terrible, and they came in there for 20 minutes, and we were like, wow. So we kept it moving. What happened is all the other stuff that got filled in we went over if there was a gap. But a lot of them come in early because they hope to get on early and to get out early. So, because, they don't make it difficult. It's just if we have questions, they need answers. So you just don't know. It's really
I
tough.
think Bethany school might be long.
It could be. Sometimes though, the Board of Ed is really organized and it's just,
They have, projects they need, I mean, they're looking at.
The HB,
Yeah.
AC. All that.
What were some of the questions about the library in years past, since that seems to be one of those prize?
they just wanted big projects and they wanted the town to cover it. And then they said they were going to get a grant writer. We approved the grant writer. Then the next year they came and no grants were written. So then that created, and a lot of members were annoyed.
Mhm.
Because we were all we separated on that vote. And so that was a big problem. And then they had a roof, they had paving, they had water damage when some storm came and it took out their whole bottom floor. And then, and then how they were going to pay for that. And, then they started the fundraising thing and that went really well. So everyone encouraged them to do that. It just goes all, it's all over.
To me though, like, if we've got stuff like that, even if they submit a summary of changes, we can have an idea of if they're real conversational type questions to prepare for. Cause that's the thing is, with just the straight numbers, it's hard to tell.
It's easier, like if you want a group like Park and Rec to come with numbers about each department, you can tell them that, and that's an easy fix. But when you've got things that are just not as structured or concrete, like when the library comes, they've had something different almost every year. And some years they came and they 5 minutes and it was like, this is all I need this year. And everyone was like, oh.
We know what they need.
So-
before they show.
Well, it's easier said than done when you're making a budget
Okay.
for a department. So, and it depends how many questions the board has. So it really varies. It sounds simple and on paper it could be very easy, but
I guess that's what I'm trying to figure out is how do we get those things that aren't easy bubbled to the surface so that we're coming in knowing at least what they are.
well, it's going to depend. If there's 6 of us, 5 of us could be all happy with an answer. One of us might not be, and then that person asks a question, and asks a question, and asks a question.
Yeah.
So it varies. It
Yeah.
all depends. Everyone has a different area, of maybe expertise.
Sure.
So
And-
it varies.
And if things go really fast, maybe we can slot in a discussion, if we have more information on legal or insurance or. anything.
Correct.
See, that's what we did. We filled in.
Where the
We fill in.
gaps fall, that's where, yes, Carol and I will backfill with the things that we have found to fill. Because a lot of the areas that Janet is looking for information on, that's driven by my office and Carol. So we're the ones that are going to have that information. No one else will have it, but we will have that.
Right. Sounds good.
And,
So we'll set another date.
I can't, but someone does need to adjourn the meeting.
15 years, you're up.
Do I have a motion to make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
You betcha.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. There you go.
And
You're like 2 minutes. All right. So
I knew you were gonna ask for that.
because the person who always helps me, who does a lot of it, he moved to Florida. It's my daughter's fiance. He set my computer for us.
It would be word and.
Yeah, it's not bad. The only
Did he
thing
go
is,
to my computer? I
like,
did my
when
calendar.
you look at the book, all the titles have to be the same font, same look.
Thank you.
So they all send them in normal. I do all that.
That there.
But see, my